Good evening. Tonight, I will give you another investment idea, which is not just investment, but it's fun and it's a hobby as well, which makes you rich by time. So it is collecting anything. You can collect coins, money. It's called numismatics, in banknotes or coins. You can buy commemorative coins, which are produced by the national mints or other mints of the countries. And these are worth a lot of money. If it's a rare one, and if you can buy rare ones, it will make a lot of money. So is it limited to this? No. The very rich men, the owners of the big companies or even empire of companies, they have one thing that shows that they are really, really rich. They must buy, antiques or uh, paintings, uh, cars, which are collection cars, old cars, new sports car collections, watch collections. Anything of a collecting value. So tonight I will give you some information about the hobby because this hobby, which makes you money if you start somewhere and start collecting. I am also collecting since I think 20 years. This type of, let's say, numismatics and other things. So some of them, they look to be very valuable, but they are not valuable. You can see the old lantern next to me. It's a replica. It's not an old one. These telephones, rotary telephones, I have many of them. Even these are antique now. The press buttons, they are no longer used. So I keep all items, just like my computer from Texas Instruments. This is very, very old, but still working. I also have older computers than they have in the museum. I still own a Wıth 20, not Commodore 64, Commodore 20. I went to Istanbul Museum and saw they had Commodore 64. I said, I have a previous version of this. So I don't throw away the items which I think may be valuable in the future. Some items new generations don't even know. Like the old music listening records, the larger size records. Then even the cassette tape cassettes are now being collected because they are getting out of reach. You may find them very invaluable. They are very invaluable. I have friends who all own records, old records, and they can change it for two houses if they want to. There is so many buyers, just old records. Similarly, there is one single bill in Turkey, for example. There is only 8 of them left. So with one of them, you can buy the best house in Istanbul, just that, owning that bill. So this is the information. Then there are items just for kept for fun. I'll show you one. I promised you I'll show you 10 trillion US dollars, which I own, not a picture, photograph, real. Okay, it's this coin here. This you see the 10 trillion in the bottom, Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Okay, and on the back side you will see $10 trillion. Okay, so you can count to zeros: million, billion, trillion. Okay, now all the US owes is 33 trillion dollars. So 1 trillion I got for you. This is 45 days. This will last the US government. Even if it was real US dollars, only 45 days. Okay, because they are borrowing so fast. I don't know what will save the U.S. Government loan. Similar with Turkey. Turkey today announced the new budget for 2024. The numbers, I just took two numbers: 1 trillion TL, 1.28 trillion for interest only, just like US dollars, $1 trillion US dollars next year in interest only in the budget. Okay, in Turkey, 1 trillion TL. And just to compare, what's this $1 trillion or 1 trillion TL? Let me tell you, the whole investments that Turkish government will do this year, including all the earthquake renewals, repairs, underground, they are also $1 trillion. You know, the very big earthquake that shook about 10 to 12 cities and tore down everything, that's equal to 1 year interest payment. Okay, so think how horrible it is. Now, in US terms, what's $1 billion? It's more than the uh, US budget for security and I would say for defense budget. Larger than defense budget of United States is the interest payment. And interest payment, people pay from their taxes. What do they get in return? Nothing, you know, because okay, other taxes you can say they turn into roads, airports, whatever, hospitals, schools. Interest payment, 1 trillion, zero, zip, nothing. Okay, so we will pay for nothing this year because they already accrued that interest from previous years. So what you have, okay, that's the worth of it. Why did we get so much loan? Okay, well, unfortunately, that spending is done by politicians, and the Fed has no right on it to control them because they ask Mr. Powell when the American Treasury sends you something, pay this, you know, bond. Do you object? He says that's not my job description. I just check the money supply and jobless rates. That's all I do. That's my job description. So what good is it to make them separate if you cannot control the money supply? What good is to make them separate jobs so they cannot force on each other? No good. It's just a show. It's a show game, you know. If they have to listen to politicians, they might as be one of the ministers instead of becoming another federal printing. You know, it's nothing. Yeah. So let's get back to our issue of collecting. So I showed you the before I forget, $10 trillion. What else do I collect? Okay, the collectors. For example, this is a 1 ounce silver, 1 ounce silver. But it is not a collector's item. This is just a regular investment. Okay, this has no collecting value because this is printed and given to everyone. Although it has a number here, it's worth. It does not have any additional value. It's just 1 ounce of silver. That's all it is. It writes 1 ounce oil. I guess you saw, right? 1 ounce. Okay, and there are. And another one is where they have let's say antique value is, for example, this one I bought. This is again this is a collection item, and it shows on the back, you know, which year it was minted and how many of them are available. And this is 356. Okay, what's this design on it? It's like saving you from evil eyes, you know. So that's the design, and it comes in a box like this. This is the real thing. It's covered in a capsule, white capsule. It must not contact with air and fingers. If you touch it with fingers, it's just regular silver like this one. Nothing. It must be in perfect mint condition. It shouldn't be touched. You can, if you want to touch, you can touch from the sides only, okay? Or most people wear gloves, fabric gloves, to touch them if you really want to touch it. So your fingerprint, suddenly the sweat in your fingerprints will leave a mark on them. So that's why you don't touch them. Similarly, tweezers must be used for the banknotes. The banknote I showed you is only $10 trillion. So I touched it with my hand. So it's probably not more than $1, I can tell you, but it's $10 trillion. That's it. Then another item I would like to show is these are again the commemorative silvers, just like the ones I showed you, minted by the Turkish mint, government mint, again in capsules, but some with color like this, and it's a flag of an old Turkic nation. And this side, both sides, commemorative coins must have value on them, but that value is just for to have a value. It doesn't mean anything. Like this one will probably have 10 TL, 20 TL, something like that, because it's a commemorative coin. It has to have it. I don't have my lens with me, but this is it writes 20 TL, 20 Turkish lira, which is under $1. So don't bother with the value. It's just value is just there to be there. You know, because this is also 1 ounce, so it must be close to $22 at least. Okay, just the silver value. But what happens with commemorative coins? In Turkey, there is very few people are collecting. So if you are a collector of like 300, 400, 200, when they start printing, they give you a limit. They say, we will print at most 2,000 of these. But let's say only 320 people buy it. They destroy the printing, so they cannot continue printing this anymore. So the 320 people who own this, they are no longer $22. They are $220. Okay, so it gets more and more the less the people have it, the collectioners. These items are not just bought by Turkish collectors. They are also bought in eBay by foreign collectors. You can find all Turkish commemorative coins, gold and silver, from eBay as well, being sold once bought by foreigners. And there are gold ones as well, not just the silver ones. So I am showing you some more samples of these. They are still in these plastic bags. So just what they look like. They're an ounce weight, sometimes 999.999995, the purity of silver. But as I said, the commemorative value is much more than the silver inside it. Now, another one, if you're a collector, how do you know the price of these in the future? Okay, there are books to calculate it, like this one. This one is from 2012, where you can see the picture of all the commemorative coins minted until then. And next to them, you can see their prices. Like I will show you this one here, for example, a gold one, $550 in 2012. And how heavy is it? It's only 8 grams, okay? 8 grams, $500. Today, 1 gram is like $69. So let's say $70. 8 times 70, this is very low price. It was very, very good price at the time. So we can even get it at the gold value today. But I will show you some more, which will make you understand what I mean, just to give you some extreme examples. Like this silver coin here, worth $1,850. Okay, normally it's like $22, right? It's $1,850. Similarly, for example, for this gold one, which is only 14 existing, $13,000. This one with a fish, $13,000. Okay, and it's 47 grams. Not bad. 47 grams times $70, let's say 70 times 47 grams. That equals $3,290. But it's $13,000 in 2012. This is the book I just found here. So it may be worth maybe $40,000, $50,000 right now. I didn't check because I don't have it. And then even older money, this is commemorative coins being still printed by Turkish Mint. Then you can have books like this, which contain Ottoman money, all the Ottoman money. The books are sometimes more expensive than the money themselves. This is a collectioner book, puts the prices of all the monies printed, their history, during which, and this can be bought and sold freely. You don't have to be historic value, because up until, I think, I don't want to mistake here, up to the last 5, 6 emperors in Ottoman Empire, products and coins are freely sold between anyone, let's say. But collectioners, if they get a permit, they can go even to Roman times, ancient times, and still collect them. But they will be accounted for them, and sometimes they are visited and checked if the items are still sitting there in their collection. Okay, I visited some friends, because when you are a collectioner, you have very rich friends. Okay, and he had a workspace, a textile company, and you enter the hall. The hall is full of ancient monuments from Roman times. Then you enter their office. The office is like a museum, and the glass gates, it's all historic stuff, let's say things displayed. So this is a more of an honorable thing rather than richness. All very, very rich men always have collections, museums in their names. Like in Turkey, we have the richest how do I say, not the recent rich people, because it shows you how rooted rich you are. Like a Koç group have all these museums and collections. Sabancı group has many collections of Ottoman writings, things like that, and pictures. And very big banks in Turkey have oil paintings of uh, famous oil painters or artists. Okay, so it's a measure of extreme richness. Okay, so you collect them. I do have some oil paintings as well. Not this one on my back, but I don't. They are not very, very valuable. I would say like $2,000-3,000 each. That's all it is. I mean, I'm not talking about $1 million things. There are companies in the world, like in USA and in UK, that do sell you shares of the paintings. Like they set up a company. You can send 2,000 pounds minimum. I'll just give you one address if you are interested. Then you buy a share in that painting, and let me see. Then I have to find the name. It's gonna load quickly, because I wasn't prepared to tell you this, so I'm just entering. Okay. Now, I make notes of things that I think that are interesting. Okay, so I have to check. I have many interesting things I took note of. Okay, it's Mintus, Mintus, and I said it's authorized by the Financial Authority of the United Kingdom, like Turkish SPK, Sermaye Piyasası Kurulu, and 1,500 minimum you can invest in pictures. So they buy the pictures or the paintings, let's say, rather than pictures, and they keep them like 3-5 years. They sell it at the extremely high value. Then they split the profits. Okay, they have similar ones in the US as well. Some of them even make you you pay a lot of money, and they can give you for a short term, like 1 month, you can keep the painting on your wall. It's just on loan. It's not yours. Okay, you are only 1 square centimeter is yours. Okay, so these are kind of token share type, let's say, art crafts you can buy. Now, lastly, I will mention you I was in the USA about 6 7 years ago, looking for. I'm an entrepreneur. I do lots of business. I check what's novelty, what can be sold, and I did lots of businesses as well. But when I was there for a visit, I wanted to check on something different. So I heard that there is a not natural, man-made diamond, real diamond. Not the glasses. I'm not talking about the glass type diamonds, real diamond. So it's called moissanite. Moissanite. It has a certificate and number, so it's much shinier than the real diamond. So like this is a sample diamond. It's shining, right? It's inside the. I can touch it. It's not like like the coins, but it's in here. Okay, the diamond. I don't know if it's probably less than a carat or something. They have it in different sizes. Now, while I was checking that, what this moissanite is like 1/5 of real diamond. Price. Not very cheap. Like the glass ones that look like diamonds. And while I was doing the research, I put it in the explanation section of this video. Uh, I came across Life Jam. And what is Life Jam? Says if you have a dog, cat, or your father, mother passed away, you can send us the cremation ashes of them, burned, and the ashes are them. So we can make from the ashes, we can turn it into diamonds for you. I said, this is interesting, but in Turkey, we don't have like India or USA, we don't have cremation. So I contacted them. I said, does it have to be somebody dead, so that you can have ashes? They said, no, hairs will be good enough for us. If you just send us, a good haircut, we can turn it into that person's diamond. So imagine that this diamond is, someone very popular, uh, Elvis Presley, okay? Uh, Cihat Çiçek, okay? Hair diamond. So it can be alive, don't have to die. So basically, it's called Life Gems. That's why it's called Life Gems. I put the site so you can see the prices. Again, not very cheap. It's not like glasses, it's real diamonds. They can even put tint into it. They are not the single company, no. I checked from Google. I said dead people's ashes diamond. You see, they are available now in Canada, Europe, everywhere. When I was checking, they were the only company producing this 7 years ago. So it must be good business. Huh? Many people are producing and selling this cremated hair business. So again, while you collect, even if you collect like 1, 2, 3, and not to make money, but in the end, you check like you have thousands of silver coins, hundreds of silver coins. You bought at 16, 15, $10. Okay, now they are valued to $100 each. I put in the cover. You can buy commemorative coins from in the US from AppMex, Kitco. They sell. Okay, people who invest, they don't advise you to buy commemorative coins, because if it's just a design, they say, don't bother investing in it. But if you are a collectioner and if you get a taste out of it, you can collect rare ones, nothing printed by thousands. Even if I found a Roman coin today, if it's an inflationary coin in Roman times, it's not worth anything, okay? So you can just toss it for the football match. So it must be rare, okay? Now, if you want to save something for becoming rich in the future, don't save something that's cheap value today. It must be expensive today as well, hard to get even today, okay? So being old is not good enough. Just being like 80 years old, 90 years old, a watch 100 years old, it's not the real shit. It must be rare as well. Very few people must have it. Then it's valuable. That's why art pieces are valuable, because they only exist one or some copies made by the same artist. That's why rarity is very important. And I tell you, in investment, what is rare is gold. Okay, silver is even rarer, physical silver. So the price of $22, $23 is dirt cheap for silver. But the price of silver is suppressed, just like oil, because if oil becomes suddenly $500, for example, uh, you can see how Janet Yellen is fighting the price to keep it at 60 US dollars, but it's still at 90 US dollars. If they cannot control it, if it goes to $200-300, it's not like this commemorative stuff, then it's in your life. You cannot drive to work, okay? You cannot make from silver the solar panels. So they are fighting to keep them low until a replica, something to replace it, can be found. And silver is about 60% of it is used in industry. Gold rarely used in industry. You can see some in satellites, things like that. But silver being the best conductor at that price, that's why there is big silver demand for electronics, also for health reasons. If you touch a silver just like this, it kills all the germs in your hand. It kills germs in the touch. That's why silver is also used in catheters at the when you if you ever get to hospital and get an operation, they attach you two tubes. They have silver in them, so that the microbes don't live, and come to you. There are even socks made of silver in US, partly of silver. So silver has many functions, being a catalytic catalyzer for chemical reactions, things like that. So it's very important product. Uh, Gold similarly, so it's getting rarer and rarer. The whole gold in the world excavated until today, since history, if you bring them all together, it's a 3-story house in a basketball field. Okay, that's all. That's all the gold extracted on Earth. However, there are millions of tons of gold that are available in the oceans, but it's not. How do I say? Worth-wise, it's not worth to extract them from the ocean. Okay, about 20 million tons, but as I said, it's in the ocean, all dispersed. Okay, so now they have to dig deeper and deeper. That's not possible. Gold is in the crust of Earth also. They don't have to go to this new, they just sent a new spaceship to a new, how do I say, let's say, small Earth piece. Okay, I can find here just a second, quickly, because sometimes I forget the word. Meteorite. Okay, meteorite. There's a meteorite made of all metal. It's called Psyche. It's written Psyche. Now it's heading towards Psyche. It's all metal, but they cannot, excavate, bring things. It's just to discover why there is no earth on it. It's all metal. So probably while it's rotating, the ground all left, the crust is left. So crust is all metal. Okay. Same in the earth. The crust is metal, heavy metal, gold, iron, and all these heavy metals are in the middle of the earth, but it's so deep they cannot excavate. So this is a good enough idea, something different subject. Again, there is always winning in what I tell you. I'm not just telling you stories about historic things at the museum. I'm telling things that you can collect, and you can become very rich, and you don't have to wait to be very rich. You can just buy a few and say, these are my first pieces before I became a billionaire. Okay. So that's how where to start. That gives you the motivation to be a billionaire. Then you can say, I'm gonna make 100,000 of these. So that will motivate you, I think. Okay, I hope you all enjoy this video, and I wish you a nice day. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We know because of the war conditions, the gold price is just moving back and forth, and it's being regulated. I tell you, it's regulated just like silver price. Otherwise, we know in 1935, the gold value was equivalent to ounce 18,000 US dollars, just like the gold I showed you. Okay, 18,000 US dollars in 1935. Today, it's only 1930, 1920, today's value. So, will it ever reach the $18,000 value? I don't know. I'm just collecting as much as I can. Okay. So, what will you do all that money? I want to make my funeral will be in a grave which is lighted by LED lights. So I will sleep in lights when I die. So that's my collection will end up. Okay. See you later, everyone. Have a good time. Enjoy what you are doing. Collecting. Don't just collect for collecting or becoming rich. You will become rich. Just start. Okay. That's easy. That's definitely. Even if you do it for fun, even if you collect, old papers, old, anything, just keep it. Don't throw it away. It's called ephemera, and that will make you rich. Like old tickets, old things like that. Your house will turn into a garbage house, but you will be rich. Okay. See you later.